Hello, welcome to the Innovators Insider podcast. I'm Mike LaFleche, the professor, joined by my friend and colleague, Richard Doyle, the user group guy. Hello, and I am so excited about today's show, Richard.
Oh, I'm having a hard time containing my excitement here because today we're talking all about Liveworx. And I got to thinking about it this morning. It's been 5 years since I've been to a big user conference, and I just cannot wait to get there. We're talking about May 15th through 18th in Boston, Massachusetts, at the Boston Convention Center. We're looking at thousands of people, hundreds of exhibitors, dozens and dozens of training sessions, people walking around, sore feet, lots of coffee everywhere.
Other things to do.
I could go on and on and on and on, but I'm just so excited. We went to CES and that was fine. And it was great being around a bunch of people and seeing some great technology, but I didn't know anybody there, other than yourself. And we did meet one Onshape user there, but this is different because I'm going to be able to see some old friends and meet some Onshape users that I've interacted with either in user group meetings or on the forums. I get to meet them in person, and those are the kind of things that get me pretty excited about this event. So we've got some great guests today. We're going to be talking about some of the sessions. We'll talk about Extropolis.
It's been almost 10 years since I've been to a big CAD user conference. We were acquired by PTC in 2019, and that would have been our first Liveworx, but of course everything was delayed with the pandemic and everything. And prior to that, I've been to other CAD conferences, the old SolidWorks World. I went to 15 of those. I'm sure you have me beat there.
20 of them. Yep.
But the last one I went to was, I think it was back in Phoenix, right? That was the last one I went to for the SolidWorks conference. And I had just left my reseller job back then and joined a company to be a CAD PDM / admin, kind of person. And that was the last one. So I'm itching to get
back in. I remember Scottsdale well. That was the year that I did karaoke, and people actually got a video of that spread around for a while. That was pretty embarrassing. But
all right, well, if anybody has a link to that, put it in the YouTube comments. And
well, who knows? We may find a place in Boston to do a little singing this year. So yes. I'll bring out the pipes. The other thing about Liveworx this year is it's the first year that Onshape is participating in the show. Like you said, obviously we would have participated a couple of years ago had it been going on. So the cool thing is there's an Onshape track, and we've got a lot of Onshape users that have stepped up to present. And we've got one of our favorite people here today with us. He is going to be doing a session on FeatureWorks. He is the feature script developer at Premier Custom Built. Let's welcome Chad Stoltzfus. Oh, Chad.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
Oh, you bet. Welcome. Yep. Welcome back to the show. We always love hearing your insights and talking to you. So, for folks that maybe didn't catch the other episodes that you were on, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? How did you get into this business? How did you get into FeatureWorks or feature script development? That's
sorry,
twice I did
brought
that.
Up SolidWorks, Richard, and it brought up all these weird old associations. I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, feature script. There we go. I'm back on track. So, Chad, go ahead.
Yeah, hey, no worries. Every now and then I put like JavaScript at the beginning. It happens. But yeah, no, I started working with Onshape about 5 or 6 years ago. I think it's been, and I came into Premier Custom Built with no CAD background whatsoever. And they brought me in, they said, hey, we need a software engineer to do what we're trying to do. And so ever since then, I've been a full-time feature script developer. My every waking thought is around how can I help Premier customize their CAD, which is the title of my session that I'll be doing at Liveworx. And over the 5 or 6 years that I've been doing this, I really have just gotten this passion for expanding, pushing the envelope or raising the ceiling of what can be done in CAD. And I really think no other system gives me the power that FeatureScript does. So that's why I'm really excited to talk about it.
Great. So we talked about it before we got started here. This is your first presentation at a big CAD conference like this. And I harken back to my first presentation, which was back in 1999, and I know how nervous I was and how well prepared I thought I was. What are some of your thoughts behind, going into your first session like this?
Yeah, great question. This is my first presentation at a conference of this scale. I have had presentations at user groups or even some episodes on this podcast where I've done similar topics, but some of those were a little bit more low level, doing some of the more technical presentations. This is kind of one of the first ones where I'm really speaking on a high level, widely applicable for anybody presentation on feature scripts. So there was a lot of new ways that I was talking about feature script than maybe what I'm used to talking about, maybe with colleagues or people that already have that deep understanding of Onshape and feature script. And that was what made this a really exciting challenge for me. And part of what really helped with preparing for this was giving a presentation to people who maybe aren't super familiar with that. I've given a couple of dry runs to people who aren't in Onshape every single day. And it's been exciting to get feedback from them on that and to hear some of the things that are mentioned in the presentation that are exciting, even if you aren't a programmer.
Yeah, and that was going to be my next question. What can folks expect to see from your session? But it looks like it's going to be geared for both people that are familiar already with feature script and people that just want to see what it can do, the power that's behind it. So what do you hope that each individual maybe leaves with one thing?
Oh, if there's one thing that I want people to walk away with, it's that feature script can powerfully capture expert knowledge and transform the way that your business operates. I think something that, especially in the world of maybe more so manufacturing than engineering, but this is true in engineering as well. I think everybody has had a day where you're chasing some design document or some specification, and you're trying to hunt it down, and you got to talk to several different people, or you find a design document, but you don't even know if it's the most up-to-date one. And I think the thing that feature script does is it allows you to consolidate a lot of those business rules into custom features. And so now the tool that you're using has all the information that you already need. You don't need to go hunt and cross-reference things. And I think regardless of whether you're a programmer who maybe is looking to dive into this, maybe that it'll give you some inspiration for that. But even if you're, head of an engineering department, I think this presentation will do a fairly sufficient job of saying, hey, this is something that you should look at. And even if it's not feature script, I still think this idea of customizing your CAD system and making your CAD system feel like it was made especially for you, I think that's the way that all engineering firms are going to head to at some point. Now, can you do that with something other than feature script? That's up for debate, but I do think it's an avenue worth pursuing.
Yeah. Let's just say no for now, and we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll say
that. So I'm glad to see again the description of the session, and it sounds like like you say, somebody from an engineering department, engineering manager walks in and understands the power of what can be done, and they turn around, they hire somebody like you to come in and actually get that done. So, so what day and time is your session? Give a little plug for it.
Yeah, that's going to be, let's see, it starts on the 15th, right? So that'd be Tuesday, the 16th at 1 p.m. The session ID is CA1203B, and that the session title is Customize Your CAD with Feature Script.
Nice.
That's a prime time slot there, Chad. You're getting fresh people, on the, pretty much, the first day of the main sessions at a conference. You're gonna have a good crowd.
And the thing that I'm really excited about with that too is I think everybody walks away from this with questions of, can feature script do this thing? Can feature script do that thing? Anytime I've given a presentation at like some smaller groups, I've always had questions afterwards. And if anybody listening to this podcast is attending Liveworx and you have questions, please feel free to hunt me down afterwards. Would love to talk to you guys and talk about maybe some first steps that you can take. I'll be talking about some first steps you can take to customizing your CAD, but if you really want some of the hard technical details, feel free to hunt me down. I'd love to chat with you.
It's very important. It's an interesting skill set that you have to be able to put these things together. It'll be really interesting to hear your thoughts and advice on how to best get started with feature scripts. So definitely go see Chad. 1 o'clock Tuesday.
Sounds like a new drinking game. Hunting Chad Stoltzfus.
Yeah, maybe. Hopefully I'm not too hard to find, but you never know.
That's an incredible offer. And we want to thank you a lot, Chad, for coming on the show, for being the feature script expert, for helping out the people in the forums. The people that are listening, our Onshape users, know how important that is to them and what you do for them. So we really appreciate it. And I can't wait to meet you in person and shake your hand. I'm really looking forward to it. So
likewise.
Yep. Thanks a lot, Chad.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right. Catch you later. Always good to chat with Chad, and such a pleasant person, and he's done such incredible things for his company and our customers. It's so nice to have him.
Really has. And his presentations are fantastic. I'm no programmer myself, but sitting through Chad's presentation teaches me a lot. Not that I'm going to ever be a feature script expert, but at least I kind of know what I'm doing now. And that's many thanks to him for that. So
yeah, it's great.
Yep. I am so excited about our next guest. This is one of my favorite people in the world. And we're kind of kindred spirits. I met her in person, I guess, just a few years ago. She is the senior community manager at PTC. Let's welcome in Jaime-Lee Bunton. Hi, Jaime-Lee. How are you?
I'm great. I'm so glad to be here today. Thank you so much for inviting me. It is my day off today, so you should feel really special that I came by.
Well, we feel special. We feel special just to have you on the show, and now we feel extra special.
Yeah, I feel special. Exactly.
So, Jaime-Lee, you've been on the PTC side for a long, long time, and I think most of our listeners and viewers are Onshape people. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to PTC, and what you do there?
Sure. I love the story of how I came to PTC, because it was an unexpected delight that I ended up here. So I have to come forward and say I am an oddball in that I am not an engineer, I am not a developer, and I have no such background. What I do have background in is community management. I worked in the telecom industry for about 14 years. And various roles across in a telecom company, focused on customer support and customer success. And yes, operator services may have been involved. Your little 411 operators there. But I quickly figured out that really communication and really working with customers and just making sure people got the questions answered, even then, was really where I needed to be. I dabbled in some instructional design, and I was part of training departments and so forth. Well, I found myself in a new stage of life, and I like to say I took a little break to nurture the future workforce of America. So I went from helping to launch the community in telecom, their very first peer-to-peer user community, and then I found myself launching children and really fostering and doing all those things that moms tried to do while I was working as a freelancer in marketing and social media and things of that nature. So I really found that I would be creating community wherever I was, right? And so that brings me to how I ended up with PTC. Well, in my path of working as a freelancer, I did find myself working part-time in the manufacturing industry. And I worked in manufacturing while I was looking for my next big gig at night while I was taking care of my kids. And I ended up starting as a contractor in the community for PTC. And that was about maybe 2017 is when I started as a contractor as the main community manager for PTC. And I've been here ever since. And you're right. I think I met you, Richard, maybe 4 years ago. But has it been 4 years?
I think
right before the big Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Before the pandemic shut us down, it was Scott Stale at the PTC user event.
Yes. Exactly. I was able to, while I was the PTC community manager for our branded community, which is community.ptc.com, handling our, we have our own CAD, a software Creo, which I don't know if we talk about that much on Onshape calls, but Windchill, Arbortext, Euphoria, and ThingWorx, of course. So basically, my community is focused on peer-to-peer support forum for all those products and services of PTC. But also an aspect of my role is to be a liaison and help out with PTC user. So, and that's where I met you, Richard. I met you at our first our first meeting was at a PTC user conference. So, do you want me to share who PTC user is?
Well, we will do that.
Have you done that before?
No, we haven't, but we'll let you do that. But before you get started, I want to go back to something you said, because I feel the need to explain to some of our younger viewers that 411 was a number that you used to be able to dial from your telephone to find out the telephone number of somebody else. So just wanted to
exactly.
And other things too.
What city, what listing. Yeah. I was on the other end.
Please tell us a little bit about PTC user.
Sure. So PTC user is a third-party, fully customer-run organization that has been with PTC for over 30 years. They like to consider themselves the independent voice of customers to PTC. So starting with our Pro Engineer product 30 years ago, they kind of self-organized. And as we started rolling on different products like Windchill, they would kind of self-organize around Windchill and Creo and so forth as we started acquiring new products and growing our segments. And so they really were in the 30 years ago, they were kind of like the one-stop community shop for PTC. They had their own online forums. They have something that they called the Exploder that they were very proud of, that they would basically have just a massive email distro. When anybody was having a problem or a question, they would just shoot it out to this Exploder, and right away people would start to collaborate and so forth. Well, PTC really liked what they were doing, and so basically we were able to take all that great online collaboration they were doing and move it into our branded community to have the core of what we have today, that peer-to-peer online support forum where we have just different customers and community members helping in real time, like answer questions as people are working through their workday. Now, the other aspect of PTC user, which brought me to Scottsdale to meet Richard, was they have a massive user group network. They have pretty similar to how Onshape was set up in different regions of the country. They would have a customer leader that would just basically be responsible for their group of PTC product enthusiasts in their regional area, their regional user groups. And once a year, PTC puts on a massive conference, like a big user group meeting, and it brings everybody that's involved in their organization together. And we're well over thousands of people are a part of their membership of that organization. They have monthly meetings, they call them technical committees. And if there's like areas of interest, like drafting or MBD, and I'm going to say all these technical terms that that engineers understand, they will self-organize around those topics in the hopes of influencing PTC's roadmap to be what they need to make the, to help their business achieve their strategic goals, right? And so that's their technical committees. And so they have their technical committees, which is more product focused and influencing the roadmap. And they have their regional user groups, which is more focused on education and helping people to really get familiar with our products and just ease of use. Some of that loyalty and so forth. And they have grown in that they kind of are bringing in some other technologies as well to their user group meetings outside of PTC, just to have a wide breadth and just be more industry focused and so forth. And I'm going to give them a plug. Their next big user group meeting is actually in January in Orlando. So they're really excited about that. So we have Liveworx coming up, which is, we'll have a booth at Liveworx. I'm actually sharing a booth with them. One side will be the PTC community side, and the other side will be PTC user, and you'll see me floating between both.
Great. You're likely to see me hanging around there as well, because community is what I'm all about. And, I was lucky. I got to meet several of the, several PTC users down in Scottsdale. And I've actually had some emails, some conversations back and forth with Deb White up in Wisconsin. And she's just a fantastic person. She kept that group going throughout the pandemic, didn't miss a beat. And is still continuing with their every week lunch and learns. Just a wonderful user group leader. I can't say enough about her up there. So good. So everybody, check out the PTC/PTC user booth at Liveworx. And just one last question for you, Jaime-Lee. What are you most looking forward to at Liveworx?
What am I most looking forward to? I am so ecstatic to be around my people again. Like I am my technical title is online community manager, but really there's something about being in person, the energy of like the excitement of being there. It's just a lot of fun to just have these great in-person conversations. And like you said, the extra stuff that comes with being at one of those big tech conferences. We have a lot of great keynotes and a lot of great sessions, and I'm excited to see who it draws in.
Great.
And I do have to say, one of my favorite things I'm doing is, as part of my role as a PTC community manager, I'm actually, my focus now, because we've grown from, one person responsible for community to a bigger team. And now I get to focus on the customer to customer, more interaction things. And part of my role is to be the engagement manager. So I have about 5 community members that are called champions that are going to have a personal, I'm basically their personal host while they're at Liveworx. And so we're really excited for these 5 individuals that they will have a champion jacket on. So if you do come to Liveworx and you see someone that says champion, those are my guys.
Great. We'll make sure to introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Jaime-Lee. It really sounds like you're as excited about this as I am. And I can't wait to see you again in person too. I'm really looking forward to that. Thank you so much for being on the show, Michael.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Mike, I can't wait to get to meet you too.
Well, it'll be great. It'll be great. All right. Let's great to meet Jaime-Lee.
Yep. Yeah. She sure sounds excited about the whole thing. And she should be too. I know she does a fantastic job with the PTC user organization. Great organization. She mentioned, those product meetings. I got to sit in on one of those in Scottsdale, and they're really, really good meetings, interactive between the product managers and the customers. A little bit of, we don't like this. Can you fix this? And, sure enough, those things get done. So, yeah. All right. Okay. Our next guest claims not to know too much about the behind the scenes stuff at Liveworx, but I think he knows a lot more than he's letting on. He is the product marketing manager here at PTC Onshape. Let's welcome Aaron Magnin. Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the show.
Hey guys, what's going on?
Nice to see you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're talking about Liveworx. Are you excited?
I am very excited. We got a lot going on. I mean, I think what Jamie was saying about getting to see everybody in person and shaking hands, and there's a lot to look forward to. There's some great keynotes, and we'll talk more about that in a little bit.
Yeah. One of the things that's really great about this year is, the fact that Onshape users are being invited to Liveworx, that we've got Onshape sessions going on, lots of them, and Onshape user presentations. I jotted some of them down that seem really interesting to me. We've got the Cam in the Cloud. This is going to be, the fireside chat with the Johnsons, from Cam Studio. I think that's going to be excellent. I think I hope they got a big room for Greg Brown with his Onshape sneak peek, because I know those are always popular sessions. And we just talked to Chad. Chad's going to be doing the session on feature script. Adrian Velasquez from Dexcom is going to be doing a session.
Yeah, I had the privilege of taking a look at his presentation earlier, and it's really eye-opening. He's going to talk about how companies evaluate and take the transition plan, right? It's you have to do it in a logical way. There's a lot of moving pieces to do it, not just software, but philosophically and psychologically and everything like that. There's lots of stuff you have to go through a 12-step program. No, I'm just kidding, but really, it's a great presentation. You're not sorry.
I love the title too. Switching to Onshape, building a business case. Yep, that's going to be an interesting one. And then Peter Harmon from the UK is coming over. Alison Olachowski, Nicholas Perrin.
Allison's is one I'm really interested to attend. It's all about using analytics to learn more about how your users are benefiting from using Onshape and how they work, learning about how they work as well. So there's great stuff.
Yeah, and that's something that she's been putting together for a couple of years now, right?
Yeah, she's up here at the University of Toronto, and there's a couple. There's another one from the EDU side that's about. Let me get the name right here. Design process, ultra fast design process rockets high school to a world championship. So that's one that's really exciting. That one's Tuesday at 3:45 with the Red Hawk Robotics team. So some really good stuff. Lots of great breakouts. I think there's something like 16 different breakouts. There's one from Eppinger from MIT that's going to be very interesting.
Agile product design. We've been talking about a lot about that lately, so that should be a good session. And then there's the test drives too. So we're kind of hoping that a lot of those Creo users come on over and take a look at Onshape, and
there's
other folks that are there.
Other products that are coming, right? So you have PTC has a wide range of technologies, right? Vuforia, ThingWorx, Arena, Windchill, there's a ton of technology, and we hope that Onshape will play good hosts to all of those users who are interested in what Onshape is doing, right? It's really I'm really excited to see people's first reactions to some of the tech that Onshape has when we're there. I'm also giving a talk too. I'm working with the Arena folks. We're going to do a tag team presentation showing some of the latest and greatest stuff that's coming soon with Arena and Onshape connection. So I can't spill the beans on what's coming. You'll have to come and see the presentation. But there's some big improvements coming, to that connector between Arena and Onshape.
And I'm just noticing that yours is at the same time as Chad's, so I don't know what's going to happen there.
Well, you just
I might have to go with Chad. I'm sorry, Michael.
I if it were me, Chad's presentation is going to be pretty good. So yeah. So luckily, you can see the presentation materials in other ways. So
actually, I think Chad's will be recorded. There's I think 5 different sessions that will be recorded, and they'll be accessible after the fact. And if you're not able to make the Liveworx in person, there's also a virtual option. So make sure to tune in, and it's going to be fun. There's some celebrity keynotes. Are we talking about keynotes yet?
Let's talk about keynotes.
Let's talk about keynotes. So Tuesday, Jim Heppelman. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's CEO of PTC. He'll be speaking about the path to the future. So products in the age of transformation. So that's a real exciting one. I think we might have some people on stage that us in the Onshape community will recognize and know. On Wednesday, there's a celebrity keynote by Steven Johnson. I actually have his book on my bookshelf. I'm pointing, you can't really see.
Over there.
Right over there. The book is called Where Good Ideas Come From, and that's actually the same name of his keynote that he'll be doing on Wednesday. So pretty interesting one there. And then on Thursday, it's these crazy guys. Alex Honnold, he's a free climber, so rock climbing without ropes. Crazy. He's from Sacramento. I was happy to learn that, just over the hill from where I came from. So they'll be talking about how they living a life with purpose. So it's a real interesting one. I think if you're gonna want to watch it, check out their documentary. It's called Free Solo. I think you can watch it on Disney Plus and Netflix. So get you real excited about seeing those guys on stage.
Yeah, that's the one I'm a little nervous about, because I have this incredible fear of heights. I mean, to the point of, I was watching a television show one day. I think it's called Aerial America. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah.
And they have drone shots that were flying over a mesa. And when it got to the edge of the mesa, I swear my stomach got the little butterflies in it. Like I was there, and I was perfectly safe sitting on my couch. So I hope they don't show too many shots of down from the mountains. So.
You're gonna get a little vertigo. You might have to sit that one out.
Maybe, but they do sound like great keynotes. Hey, let's talk about Extropolis for a minute. 170,000 square feet of exhibit space. I think that's just great. And I think we're going to find the entire PTC universe in Extropolis, right? All of the PTC products, as well as the exhibitors. One of the things I read on the website was demos and hands-on stuff. Can you tell us what that's about?
Yeah, basically, every customer who will be, represented on the floor there in Extropolis, we're going to have associated demos to tell the story of how maybe they used Onshape or Creo or whatever tool that they're representing there on the floor. We have a number that I'm real excited about. Lumafield is the startup that is basically giving engineers X-ray vision, is how I've been seeing them describe it. I mean, it's true. I mean, basically they have this CT scanner that is at a much more affordable price point than kind of what the traditional CT scanner, and it's small enough that you can get it into your office, and you can learn a lot about manufacturing processes, manufacturing defects. Some other names that'll be there are Formlabs is going to be bringing one of their new Form Autos, which I'm really excited to see. It's this set it and forget it. You can have this thing printing day in, day out. We have Penta. So that's the name that might be new to some of you. The former name was Pocket NC. It started from a Kickstarter, I believe. And I forget, is it the V2? No, sorry, that's
yeah, that's World War II stuff there.
I think
the machine is an incredible, small CNC machine that you can put in your workshop on a table, or even in a it doesn't require a full setup. You can plug this thing in. It's really a nice portable machine, and Cam Studio, of course, will work with it right away and all that.
So actually, I didn't have the name right. I just double checked it as the V2, but that was their first product that they came out with. They're bringing another one to this show, and the really neat thing about what they're doing is they're putting 5-axis machines in the hands of basically anyone. I mean, you can learn the ins and outs of CAM. You can create some amazing stuff using them. They're bringing their newest product, which isn't yet. It's pretty exciting to see that, and I think it might even be using Cam Studio, which we are very excited about, and there's some breakouts that you can watch in relation to that as well. So
nice, a CNC machine that you can plunk down right next to your 3D printer, right in your home office, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Anybody else? I'm trying to think if we forgot anybody there, but
there's some more. I got more here. You want more?
Yeah, I want more. Let's hear it.
Well, there's the robotic Bobarista from Bobacino. So these guys, it's Vibu Labs, I think is kind of an incubator. It's I don't know how to describe it, but Bobacino is one of the companies that spun off of it, and it's this robotic boba making machine. So you can buy one of these, put it in a mall. Me and Lindsay were talking about investing in one, and seeing how it goes. I mean, could be a nice little income, but basically it's this robotic boba making machine. You can customize your drinks. You as an operator, you just, fill it up with some boba pearls in the morning and let it do its thing. And it's a really interesting thing. These like automated food service is really exciting stuff.
I mean, if you'll see the machine, it's like an engineer's dream just looking at it. It's like you got this, robotic arm, you got drinks, you got machinery, you got electrical control panels. I mean, it's like
big chunks of steel and socket head cap screws. Yeah, that gets me excited.
It looks great. It looks great.
Who doesn't love some socket head screws, man?
That's fantastic. One of the other things we didn't talk about are some of the events that are happening even after the conference, like the Monday evening welcome reception. I think everybody should check that out for a couple of reasons. Number one, it's your first chance really to kind of take your tour around Extropolis. I assume that there's going to be food and drink there as well, and it's a great chance to meet people. It's a nice, calm, comfortable, relaxing atmosphere. Although be 10,000 people roaming around, but it'll still be somewhat relaxing. But I love that, and then also the tech meetups. I thought those look kind of cool too. So each of the products is getting a tech meetup, or some of the products are getting a tech meetup that's offsite, right, at a nice restaurant or something. Yeah,
it's in the seaport there. The tech meetup that we're doing is shared with Arena, so obviously we're very, very tight knit with them. Ours is at Davio's Northern Italian Steakhouse. I'm very excited about that. Everyone loves a good steak, right?
And that's included with the price of admission. Although these tech meetups are first come, first serve. So exactly, they could fill up. So you want to get there early. There is the possibility to check out other ones. So if one's filled up, go check out the other one. They're all I think within a very short walking distance to another. But we'd love to see you at the Onshape Tech meetup, of course. And it'll be a lot of fun. And obviously food and drink. Yep. Early evening in the middle of May in Boston, Massachusetts is a beautiful time to walk around the streets, to walk in between the conference center and the restaurants and seaport area. I'm really looking forward to that because it's all kind of, it's compact. It's, I think the convention center down to the PTC hotel, I did that walk several times. It's a little long, but it's not that bad.
10 minutes. I
10 minutes.
Google mapped it. Don't worry.
Yep. And most of the attendees are far younger than me, so they can handle that. So.
Then there's another one. There's actually 3 different kind of social events that you can participate in. The opening night, tech meetups the next night, and then the night after that is the Mix at 6, which includes a concert.
Yep, and I highly recommend to folks. I know this is it. It's at the end of a day. It's at the end of a long day. You're tired. You're thinking about just going back to the hotel and relaxing. Don't go to these events. I guarantee you'll have a great time. You're going to meet some interesting people. I'm not a country music fan per se. I'm more of a 80s hair rock kind of guy. But I did grow up in a household with a mother that was very much into Johnny Cash and Tammy Wynette. And so I'm kind of hoping we can get them to play some of those old classics while I'm there too.
We'll see if we can do. I mean, the Seaport is a happening place. We don't.
So you don't think we can belt out Orange Blossom Special at any point? Huh?
Dirk Bentley is performing. Dirk Bentley is going to take over the Seaport. It's going to be a once in a lifetime thing, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
You'll never see Dirk Bentley in the Seaport hanging out playing music again. So just for that, if you're into Dirk Bentley.
I won't be wearing my boots, but I might do some scooting while I'm there. So Aaron, it's always great to have you on the show. Mike, what do you say we bring everybody back in? I've got one thing I'd like to ask everybody on screen, and I'm gonna start this off. So if everybody could think about one piece of advice that you would give to Liveworx attendees before they get there, and I'll start early, or I'll start first. And my first piece of advice is to arrive early. Get there Sunday if you can. If you can't, get there as early as possible on Monday and go and check out the lay of the land, especially if you're there on Sunday. Go over to the conference center. Find out where the rooms are, where you need to be. Find out where breakfast is. Look for signage. Pick up your badge. Do all that good stuff well before anything gets started.
Good advice.
That's good advice.
All right.
I guess I
who
could
else has
go.
one?
I'll,
There you
I'll
go.
jump in since I was stepping on your words there. My advice is to make a plan. I mean, there's so much going on that you really need to have a grasp on where you're going to be, when, and but with that said, be flexible. I mean, you might, while you're there, you might hear that someone's a really great speaker and they're presenting around the corner. You know, pop in, see what's going on. So make a plan, be flexible, have fun, get to know a lot of people.
Great. Good advice there. Jaime-Lee, what do you say?
Where do I start? Well, the convention center is a little cold, so I always like to have, you know, long sleeves inside the convention center if we're going to get down in the nitty gritty. And let's see what else. It's just you're going to meet a lot of people, so you know, just make sure you have like a really easy way to share contacts and get contacts, you know, through LinkedIn. It is more of a green, sustainable conference this year, so you might see less extra bags to like throw stuff in being given out by the vendors and whatnot. So yeah, from a sustainability perspective, just come with less and expect less in that realm, I guess you should say.
BYOB, bring your own bags.
Yeah, there you go.
I would add, in addition to long sleeve shirts, I would add comfortable shoes as well. Chad, any advice for attendees?
Yeah, it's a lot of
yeah, just want to echo what you were saying earlier, Rich, about the social events at the end and even during the conference. I mean, this is a great opportunity to network with as many people as possible. But also, you know, ask really impactful and important questions about how people are using the same tools that you're using. This is a great opportunity to find out, like, you know, what new tools you might want to introduce into your ecosystem. But I think, hey, what unique ways are you using a tool that I'm already using? That's some of the most value I've gotten out of networking events like this.
I'll second that, Chad. That's, you know, you're going to meet so many people, so many different workflows. You know, even if they're not using Onshape, they're using something else, you know, you're going to be able to have a conversation, come up with ideas. You know, people have experience in lots of different things. Just be friendly. Everybody's there to be there and they all have the same goal of coming back more well-informed, and you know, and excited, you know, about what they do. Right.
And let's not forget how engineering and manufacturing has changed since the pandemic, and more workers are working remote. So this is another good opportunity for contract manufacturers, contract engineers to pick up some business or pick up extra employees, or, because it's you don't have to be in the same city to work for a company anymore. You know, you can be halfway across the world and be a very effective part of that company. So. Just one last one that I wanted to mention. Jaime-Lee says, don't bring a bunch of stuff, but there is some stuff that you probably should bring. Business cards, if that's what you still have to use. I know they're not very green, Jaime-Lee, but lots of folks still use those. I feel weird saying this because Onshape doesn't use files, but bring a jump drive, bring something to transfer files back. You never know when you might need it. And, you know, it should go without saying, but, you know, you bring in your phone, so you have your camera. Don't forget your charging cords and your headphones and stuff like that. So make a list before you pack. Make sure you've got everything.
Yeah, I always forget my charging things and everything. That's a really good point.
Yeah. And if you need a place to charge, come see me at the PTC user booth. You know, we'll hook you up. You can come visit us.
That's awesome.
I also noticed that at Liveworx we have a quiet room, and this is a place that if you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling stressed, you just need to take a break and get away from everybody. You can go to this room, and there's no talking allowed in this room at all. It's just a place for silence, and I think that's great. I might visit that several times.
After my demo, you're going to have to go there. Yeah.
Totally.
Wow. So it sounds like Liveworx is going to be really great. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, you know, 5 years since I've been to a big CAD conference like this. Might have been even longer for Michael. And we might be doing some stuff while we're there too, Mike. Maybe talking to some folks, maybe doing an interview or two. We'll see. But if you see us hanging around and you think you want to be part of the Innovators Insider podcast, grab us. Let's do something.
Yep. You know what we look like now. So
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about cutting my hair, but my boss talked me out of it. So yeah, I'll still look like this in May. So. Chad, yep. Chad, Jaime-Lee, Aaron, just fantastic having y'all on the show. It's been a good one. I'm even more excited for Liveworx than when we started the show here. So thank you very much for being on with us. And for the folks that are listening, we hope to see you at Liveworx too. If you see me with the long hair and the beard, come up and introduce yourself, shake my hand. I'm really looking forward to all of that. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button for us, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks, right?
All right. See y'all later.
Thanks. My pleasure.
See ya. Bye.